Most people lose control long before life becomes difficult. They speak without thinking, react without understanding, spend without planning, and allow their emotions to lead them into trouble. But what if you could change all of that? What if you could control your mouth, your mind, your mood, and even your money? Imagine living each day with calm confidence and clarity. Imagine having the power to respond instead of react, to think before you speak, and to build a life where your emotions and decisions work for you, not against you. This audiobook will guide you step by step into stronger discipline, sharper thinking, and wiser choices. You will learn simple, practical habits that help you stay in control, even when life gets loud and stressful. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you never miss the tools that will help you grow. Let's start your journey to total self-control. Chapter 1. Controlling your mouth. Your mouth is the first thing people notice about you. Not your clothes, not your background, not your money. People judge you first by what you say and how you say it. Your words can open doors or close them. They can build trust or destroy it. They can bring peace or create chaos. Most people don't realize how much damage they do simply because they speak too quickly, too loudly, or without thinking. When you learn to control your mouth, you gain control over your relationships, your reputation, and your entire future. The truth is, many of the biggest problems in life begin with careless words. Arguments start because someone spoke in anger. Friendships end because someone said something hurtful. Opportunities disappear because someone spoke without thinking. It happens at home, at school, at work, and even online. One moment of uncontrolled speech can undo years of hard work, but the good news is, you can train yourself to speak with calm, confidence, and wisdom. The first step to controlling your mouth is slowing down. Most people speak fast because their emotions speak for them. When they get angry, their words explode. When they feel stressed, their tone becomes sharp. When they feel insecure, they talk too much to fill the silence. But when you slow down, even for a moment, you give yourself time to think before you speak. This small pause can save you from saying something you'll regret later. The pause doesn't need to be long. Even one deep breath can change what comes out of your mouth. Many people talk more than they listen. They feel the need to respond immediately, as if silence means they're losing. But a strong person listens first. Listening gives you power because it helps you understand another person's feelings, their needs, and their intentions. When you listen, you gain information. When you speak too soon, you lose the chance to learn. Listening also earns respect. People trust those who make them feel heard. When you build the habit of listening before speaking, your words become more meaningful and more respected. Another key part of controlling your mouth is understanding that not everything needs a reaction. You don't have to respond to every insult or comment. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to defend every decision you make. Sometimes silence is stronger than any words you could speak. Silence can confuse those who try to provoke you. It protects your peace. It shows maturity. When you choose silence instead of reacting emotionally, you keep control while others lose theirs. Your emotions play a big role in how you speak. When you feel angry, your mouth becomes dangerous. When you feel hurt, your mouth becomes sharp. When you feel embarrassed, your mouth becomes defensive. But emotions are temporary, and the words you say can last forever. This is why it's important to speak from a calm mind, not a heated emotion. If you feel overwhelmed, it's okay to step back, take a break, or say, "I need a moment." Controlling your mouth doesn't mean hiding your emotions. It means expressing them in a way that doesn't hurt you or others. Another habit that helps you control your mouth is choosing honesty with kindness. Some people speak the truth like a weapon, and it hurts everyone around them. Others avoid truth to keep peace, and it leads to confusion. The goal is to speak truth in a way that brings clarity, not pain. When you combine honesty with kindness, people trust you more. They listen more. They respect your words because they know you're not trying to harm them. This balance takes practice, but once you learn it, your relationships grow stronger and healthier. Many people underestimate how powerful words are. Words can lift someone out of sadness. Words can motivate someone to keep trying. Words can make someone feel valued. But words can also break someone's confidence, make them doubt themselves, or make them feel small. When you realize that your mouth has this kind of power, you become more careful with what you say. You begin to choose words that build and strengthen, instead of words that hurt or destroy. One of the biggest challenges in controlling your mouth is avoiding gossip. Gossip feels easy because it makes you feel included. It makes you feel like you know something others don't. But gossip is dangerous. It damages your character more than it damages the person being talked about. It makes people trust you less because if you talk about others, they know you will eventually talk about them too. A disciplined person avoids gossip because they understand that their character and integrity are worth more than temporary entertainment. Another trap to avoid is talking to release stress. Many people vent their frustrations without thinking about the impact on the listener. Venting is okay, but only when done in a healthy way. It's important to choose someone trustworthy and express yourself with calm, not rage. Your words should release pressure, not create more tension. If you let your mouth explode with every problem, you create more chaos in your life. But when you learn to speak calmly about your frustrations, you gain control over both your emotions and your relationships. Controlling your mouth also means not oversharing. You don't need to tell everyone everything. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every plan needs to be announced. Not every emotion needs to be expressed. Oversharing makes you vulnerable to judgment, manipulation, and misunderstanding. When you talk less, people respect you more. Your words carry more weight. You protect your privacy, your plans, and your peace. A strong person knows when to speak and when to stay quiet. They choose their words like a skillful artist chooses colors. They understand that timing matters, tone matters, intention matters. The same sentence can heal or hurt, depending on how and when it's said. That is why emotional control and thoughtful communication go hand in hand. Another important part of controlling your mouth is learning to apologize. Saying "I'm sorry" does not make you weak. It shows maturity, humility, and responsibility. Everyone makes mistakes, especially with their words. But when you quickly apologize and correct yourself, you prevent small problems from becoming big ones. Apologizing doesn't mean taking blame for things that aren't your fault. It means acknowledging when your words caused harm and showing that you care. But just as important as apologizing is learning to forgive yourself for past mistakes. You may have said things in anger that you regret. You may have hurt someone unintentionally. You may have spoken without thinking. These moments don't define you. They are opportunities to learn. Controlling your mouth is a journey, not a perfection contest. With practice, you become more aware, more thoughtful, and more in control. Controlling your mouth also strengthens your confidence. When you speak with intention and clarity, people listen more closely. You begin to feel more secure in who you are. You stop worrying about saying the wrong thing because you've trained yourself to speak calmly and responsibly. Confidence isn't about talking a lot. It's about speaking with purpose. As you grow better at controlling your mouth, you'll notice changes in your relationships. Arguments become less frequent. Conversations become deeper. People feel safer around you because they know you won't explode in anger or speak hurtfully. You become a person others trust with their feelings, their thoughts, and their secrets. This is a rare and powerful thing. The ability to control your mouth is one of the greatest signs of emotional maturity. Anyone can speak, anyone can react, anyone can shout. But only someone strong can stay calm, choose their words carefully, and speak with wisdom. When you master your mouth, you master the path to peace, respect, and healthy relationships. Most importantly, controlling your mouth is the first step to controlling your entire life. Your words shape your reality. They influence your mood, your actions, your opportunities, and your future. When you speak with discipline, you move through the world with strength and intention. You make better decisions, you attract better people, you create a better life. Every great leader, every wise teacher, every respected person has learned this skill. They don't speak to impress. They don't speak to attack. They speak to bring clarity, calm, and confidence. You can develop this same power if you practice every day. The journey begins with simple steps. Speak slower, listen more, pause before reacting, choose honesty with kindness, avoid gossip, don't overshare, apologize when needed. Protect your peace. Over time, these habits will shape you into someone whose words carry weight, meaning, and respect. Controlling your mouth is not just about communication. It's about character. It's about emotional strength. It's about building a life where your words work for you, not against you. Once you learn this, you will feel more powerful, more respected, and more in control than ever before. Chapter 2. Controlling your mind. Your mind is the place where everything begins. Every decision, every emotion, every reaction, every dream, and even every mistake starts in your mind. If your mind is clear, your life becomes clear. If your mind is chaotic, your life becomes chaotic. This is why learning to control your mind is one of the most important skills you can ever develop. When you learn to guide your thoughts instead of letting your thoughts guide you, you gain a level of strength that very few people ever experience. Most people never learn how to manage their mind. Their thoughts run wild, jumping from fear to worry, to anger to confusion. They react before thinking. They absorb negativity from the world around them. They allow stress to take over. They listen to every negative voice in their head and believe it without question. But the truth is, you don't have to live like that. You can train your mind the same way you train your body. You can teach it to focus, to stay calm, to think clearly, and to work for you instead of against you. The first step to controlling your mind is becoming aware of your thoughts. Most people move through life without noticing what their mind is doing. They don't realize how many thoughts are self-created worries, memories from the past, or fears about the future. They don't realize that their thoughts are shaping their mood, their words, and their actions. Once you start paying attention to your thoughts, you'll notice patterns. You'll notice the same worries showing up again and again. You'll notice negative thoughts that drain your energy. You'll notice fears that make you hesitate. Awareness is the beginning of control. When you become aware of what your mind is doing, you can decide which thoughts to keep and which thoughts to let go. You don't have to believe every thought you have. You don't have to listen to every fear. Thoughts are not commands. They are simply ideas passing through your mind. Some are helpful and some are not. When you learn to question your thoughts instead of accepting them blindly, you take back your power. Many people don't realize how much their environment influences their mind. The things you watch, the people you talk to, the places you spend time in, all of these shape your thinking. If you surround yourself with negativity, your mind becomes negative. If you surround yourself with fear, your mind becomes fearful. But if you surround yourself with positive influences, your mind becomes stronger. Control over your mind also comes from controlling what you allow into it. One of the most powerful habits for controlling your mind is giving it moments of silence. The world is loud. Social media, conversations, work, noise, constant information, all of this fills your mind with distractions. But silence gives your mind space to breathe. When you sit quietly, even for a few minutes, your mind begins to settle. You start to see which thoughts are real problems and which ones are just temporary emotions. Quiet moments help you reset and think clearly. Another important part of controlling your mind is learning to separate thoughts from emotions. Many people think that if they feel something, it must be true. But emotions can lie. Fear can make something seem dangerous when it's not. Anger can make a small problem feel huge. Sadness can make you believe you are alone even when you're not. When you separate thoughts from emotions, you can examine each emotion calmly. You can say to yourself, I feel this way, but that doesn't mean it's the truth. This simple practice gives you enormous control over your reactions. Your mind becomes stronger when you focus on the present moment. Most stress comes from either worrying about the future or regretting the past. The present moment is where your power is. The present moment is where decisions are made, actions happen, and life unfolds. When your mind stays in the present, it becomes calmer, it becomes clearer, it becomes more focused. Try to bring your attention back to where you are right now. Look around you. Notice your breathing. Notice your surroundings. The more you practice this, the less control your worries will have over you. Controlling your mind also means controlling the stories you tell yourself. Everyone has a voice in their head that tells them who they are, what they can do, and what they can't do. But many of these stories are old, outdated, or influenced by other people's opinions. Some stories were created from pain, rejection, or failure. If you keep repeating these stories, your mind becomes trapped in them. You start to believe you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of achieving your dreams. Changing these stories is one of the most powerful things you can do. Tell yourself new stories. Tell yourself you can learn, you can grow, and you can overcome. These new stories shape your thoughts, your actions, and your future. One habit that helps control your mind is learning to question your fears instead of obeying them. Fear is natural, but uncontrolled fear can take over your life. When fear appears in your mind, ask yourself if the fear is real or imagined. Ask yourself if the fear is protecting you or holding you back. Most fears are just predictions your mind makes without any real evidence. When you learn to challenge your fears, they lose their power. Your mind becomes stronger than your fears. Another important part of mental control is managing overthinking. Overthinking is one of the biggest enemies of peace. It traps your mind in endless loops of what if and maybe. Overthinking steals your time, your energy, and your joy. When you notice your mind overthinking, interrupt the cycle. Tell yourself to stop. Bring your attention back to something simple, the physical world around you, your breath, or the task in front of you. Your mind cannot worry when it is fully focused on the present moment. Every strong mind has one thing in common: discipline. Mental discipline means training your mind the same way you train a muscle. It means practicing focus every day, even if it's uncomfortable at first. When your mind tries to wander, bring it back. When your mind tries to panic, remind it to calm down. When your mind tries to quit, tell it to continue. Discipline creates strength. Strength creates control. Control creates freedom. Another way to control your mind is to choose your thoughts intentionally. Most people allow their minds to run on autopilot, but you can choose what you want to think about. You can choose thoughts that give you courage instead of fear. You can choose thoughts that give you hope instead of doubt. You can choose thoughts that help you grow instead of thoughts that keep you stuck. When you actively choose your thoughts, you become the leader of your mind instead of a follower. Your mind also becomes stronger when you take care of your body. Sleep, water, food, and movement all affect your mental state. A tired mind is harder to control. A hungry mind is more emotional. A stressed body leads to a stressed mind. Taking care of your physical health is part of taking care of your mental health. A calm body supports a calm mind. There will be days when your mind feels heavy, filled with thoughts you don't want. These days are normal. No one controls their mind perfectly. What matters is not perfection, it's practice. Each day you practice controlling your mind, you become a little stronger. Each time you choose calm over fear or patience over panic, your mind becomes more disciplined. Progress happens slowly, but it is real. Controlling your mind is not about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about learning to guide your thoughts with awareness and strength. It's about knowing that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts to follow. When you learn to guide your mind, you guide your life. A controlled mind creates a controlled future. The more you master your mind, the more peaceful you become. You stop reacting to everything around you. You stop letting other people's opinions control your mood. You stop rushing into decisions. You start speaking more calmly. You start feeling more confident. You start seeing life more clearly. A calm mind becomes a powerful mind. This chapter is the foundation for everything that comes next. When you control your mouth and your mind together, you gain emotional power that most people will never understand. You begin to move through the world with calm, confidence, and clarity. Your decisions improve. Your relationships improve. Your opportunities improve. And slowly, your entire life begins to rise. Chapter 3: Controlling your mood. Your mood shapes your entire day. It affects how you speak, how you think, how you treat others, and how you treat yourself. A good mood can make everything feel lighter and easier. A bad mood can make even small problems feel heavy and overwhelming. Most people don't realize how much control they actually have over their mood. They think their mood is something that just happens to them. But the truth is, with practice and awareness, you can guide your mood the same way you guide your thoughts and actions. You can learn to stay calm when life gets stressful, stay patient when things don't go your way, and stay centered when emotions pull you in different directions. Your mood begins with your inner world. It begins with the thoughts you allow, the feelings you feed, the environment you stay in, and the meaning you attach to situations. When you understand what affects your mood, you gain power over it. Your mood does not come from what happens to you. It comes from how your mind interprets what happens to you. Two people can face the same situation, but feel completely different, because each person's inner world shapes their experience. That inner world is something you can learn to manage. The first step to controlling your mood is understanding that emotions are temporary. No emotion stays forever. Anger, sadness, frustration, fear, stress, excitement, joy, each emotion rises and eventually fades. Many people panic when they feel a strong emotion. They believe it will last forever. They believe they must act immediately. But emotions come in waves. If you learn to ride the wave without reacting too quickly, you will find that the emotion naturally settles. This alone can transform your life. When you stop acting on temporary emotions, you stop making permanent mistakes. Another important part of mood control is recognizing emotional triggers. Everyone has things that affect their mood quickly. It might be certain people, certain situations, a lack of sleep, stress at work, pressure in school, or even hunger. When you identify what triggers your negative moods, you can prepare for them. You can adjust your reactions. You can remind yourself to stay calm. You can give yourself space. You can avoid unnecessary conflict. Awareness gives you power over how you respond. Many people allow their mood to be controlled by others. If someone speaks rudely to them, their whole day becomes negative. If someone doesn't give them attention, they feel unimportant. If someone criticizes them, they feel hurt. But when your mood depends on other people, you lose control of your life. You become a passenger instead of the driver. Controlling your mood means learning to separate your emotions from other people's behavior. You can't control what others do, but you can control how you respond. You can choose not to absorb someone else's negativity. You can choose to protect your peace. Your mood also depends on the stories you tell yourself. When something bad happens, your mind quickly adds meaning to it. If someone ignores your message, you might think, "They don't care about me." But that may not be true. If someone criticizes you, you might think, "I'm not good enough." But that's not reality. Your mind creates meaning, and that meaning creates your mood. If you change the story, you change the emotion. Instead of assuming the worst, give yourself a more balanced explanation. It can turn frustration into calm, anger into understanding, and stress into patience. Another powerful way to control your mood is through physical awareness. Your body and your emotions are deeply connected. When your mood drops, your body reacts, your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tighten, your heartbeat changes. But the opposite is also true. When you change your breathing, you can change your mood. When you relax your shoulders, your mind starts to relax. When you sit up straight, you feel more confident. This connection is why deep breathing feels so calming. It sends a signal to your mind that you are safe. Controlling your body is one of the fastest ways to control your mood. A simple but very effective habit is taking slow, deep breaths when your mood begins to shift. This does not make the emotion disappear instantly, but it slows it down. It gives you time to think. It gives you space to respond instead of react. One deep breath can stop you from saying something you'll regret. One deep breath can stop you from making an emotional decision. One deep breath can prevent a small moment from becoming a big problem. Your environment plays a big role in your mood as well. A messy room can make your mind feel crowded. Loud noise can increase stress. Negative people can drain your energy. But a clean space can calm you. Soft music can relax you. Time alone can recharge you. The more aware you are of how your environment affects your emotions, the easier it becomes to create spaces that support your mood instead of hurting it. Another important part of mood control is developing emotional vocabulary. Many people only know how to express anger or frustration, but behind those emotions are deeper feelings like fear, disappointment, insecurity, or exhaustion. When you identify what you're truly feeling, you gain more control. Saying "I'm overwhelmed" is different from saying "I'm angry." Saying "I feel ignored" is different from saying "you don't care about me." When you understand your real emotions, you respond more clearly and calmly. Naming your feelings reduces their power over you. Sometimes your mood dips because your mind is focused on everything that is going wrong. You may be worrying about problems, comparing yourself to others, or thinking about mistakes, but your mood changes when you change your focus. One powerful way to shift your mood is to bring your attention back to the present moment. Look around you. Notice the colors, the sounds, the temperature of the air. Feel your breath. Allow yourself to be fully here. The present moment is usually calm. Most stress comes from thoughts about the past or the future. Returning to the present brings peace. Another habit that strengthens mood control is practicing gratitude. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems, but it reminds your mind that life is not only problems. When you think about what you're thankful for, your mood naturally rises. It doesn't have to be something big. It might be the food you ate, the sunlight, someone who helped you, or simply the chance to start a new day. Gratitude trains your mind to see the good even when life is challenging. It acts like a reset button for your emotions. Your mood also improves when you take responsibility for it. Many people blame others for how they feel. They say things like, "You made me angry," or "You ruined my day," or "Because of you, I feel bad." But when you blame others, you give them control over your emotional life. Taking responsibility doesn't mean ignoring someone's bad behavior. It means recognizing that you have the power to rise above it. You choose your response. You choose whether someone's words ruin your day or whether you stay in control. Another part of mood control is setting boundaries. If certain people drain your energy or constantly bring negativity into your life, it's okay to limit your time with them. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary. Your emotional health matters. Creating distance doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about your own well-being. When you feel safe and respected, your mood stays stable. Controlling your mood also means accepting that not every day will feel good. Some days you will feel tired, sad, or frustrated without any clear reason. This is normal. Emotions come and go like weather. The skill is not making the emotion disappear, but learning how to move through it with grace. You don't have to fight every feeling. Sometimes you just need to sit with the emotion, breathe, and let time do the rest. Calm acceptance often helps the mood pass faster. One of the strongest signs of emotional maturity is choosing your mood intentionally. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to be happy all the time. It means choosing calm over chaos, patience over anger, understanding over judgment, and clarity over confusion. It means choosing to respond with strength, even when you feel weak inside. These choices, made day after day, make you emotionally powerful. When you learn to control your mood, your relationships improve. You stop reacting emotionally to small things. You communicate more clearly. You avoid unnecessary arguments. People feel safer around you because they know you won't explode unexpectedly. You also feel safer within yourself because you know you can handle whatever emotions arise. Controlling your mood gives you freedom. Freedom from overthinking, freedom from emotional reactions, freedom from being pulled in every direction by stress, fear, or anger. You become steady. You become grounded. You become someone people trust, not because you are perfect, but because you are stable. And most importantly, controlling your mood prepares you for controlling your money, which is the next step in this journey. Money decisions require calm thinking, not emotional impulses. Without mood control, it's easy to spend out of stress, buy out of insecurity, or avoid responsibilities out of fear. Your emotional habits shape your financial habits. This is why mastering your mood is essential. It connects your mouth, your mind, and your future. When your mood is steady, your decisions become smarter, your relationships become stronger, your life becomes more peaceful. You become the kind of person who can face challenges without falling apart, who can keep going even when emotions try to pull you off track. Mood control is not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally strong. Your feelings are valid, but they don't have to control you. With awareness, practice, and patience, you can guide your mood. The same way you guide a ship through changing weather. Some days will be sunny, some days will be stormy, but when you learn to steer with calm hands, you will always find your way forward. Chapter 4. Controlling your money. Money is one of the biggest sources of stress in people's lives. It affects how you feel, how you live, how you think, and how you plan for your future. Many people let money control them. Instead of learning how to control their money, they spend without thinking. They buy things to impress others. They fall into debt, and they live paycheck to paycheck. Money becomes a fear, a burden, or a source of shame. But it doesn't have to be that way. When you learn to control your money, you gain freedom, security, and confidence. You begin to make choices that support your goals instead of choices that create stress. The first step to controlling your money is understanding that money is emotional. People often spend money not because they need something, but because they feel something. Stress spending, boredom spending, sadness spending, celebration spending, insecurity spending. These are emotional habits, not logical decisions. If you feel stressed, you might buy something to feel better. If you feel lonely, you might buy something to fill the emptiness. If you feel pressured by others, you might spend money just to fit in. But emotional spending creates long-term problems. It gives you a short moment of relief, followed by regret or financial stress. Controlling your money starts with controlling your emotions around money. Another important step is becoming aware of where your money actually goes. Most people think they know, but when they look closely, they are surprised. Small purchases add up quickly. A snack here, a drink there, a subscription you forgot about, an online order you didn't plan. These small costs become big problems when repeated often. Awareness gives you power. When you know where your money is going, you can make smarter choices. When you don't know, your money controls you. Learning to control your money also requires learning to wait. Waiting is one of the strongest financial skills you can develop. You don't have to buy everything immediately. You don't have to satisfy every desire the moment it appears. When you wait before buying, you give your mind time to think. Do you actually need it? Will it benefit your future? Or is it just an emotional impulse? Many financial mistakes happen in moments of impulse, but when you wait, you prevent emotional decisions and make choices with clarity. One powerful habit is asking yourself a simple question before you buy something. Will this matter next month? If the answer is no, it's usually not worth your money. Most things people buy bring excitement for a few hours, then become forgotten. The money is gone, but the benefit is temporary. But when you buy something that improves your life long-term, you feel the value for months or even years. Long-term thinking is the foundation of financial control. Controlling your money also means understanding the difference between wants and needs. A need is something you must have to live and function: food, shelter, basic clothing, transportation, health. A want is something you desire for comfort, style, or entertainment. There is nothing wrong with wanting things, but problems begin when wants take priority over needs. If you spend too much on wants, you won't have enough left for the important things. Your money should always go to needs first. Wants come after your responsibilities are taken care of. Another important part of money control is planning. You don't need a complicated plan. Even a simple one can change your life. Planning means deciding in advance how you will use your money, instead of letting your emotions decide. It means deciding how much to save, how much to spend, and how much to allocate for responsibilities. Planning gives you direction. Without a plan, money slips through your fingers without you noticing. Saving money is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. Savings give you safety. Savings give you choices. Savings protect you from emergencies. Most people say they can't save because they don't have enough money. But the truth is, saving is not about the amount, it's about the habit. Even a small amount saved regularly grows over time. Saving teaches discipline. It teaches patience. It teaches self-control. Every dollar you save is a dollar that supports your future, instead of disappearing into temporary desire. Another skill that strengthens money control is learning to say no. Many people struggle financially because they say yes too often. They say yes to going out when they don't have the money. They say yes to buying things to impress people. They say yes to spending because they feel guilty saying no. But if you can't say no, your money will always control you. Saying no does not make you rude. It makes you responsible. It protects your goals. It protects your future. Every time you say no to something unnecessary, you are saying yes to something better. Your money habits are also shaped by the people you spend time with. If you are surrounded by people who spend impulsively, you will feel pressured to do the same. If your friends spend money to show off, you may feel like you have to keep up it. If you spend time with people who are responsible with money, who think long-term, who save, invest, or plan carefully, you will adopt similar habits. Your financial environment influences your choices more than you realize. Another important part of money control is avoiding financial comparison. Comparing your life to others is one of the fastest ways to feel unhappy and to spend money unwisely. Social media shows people's best moments: new phones, new clothes, vacations, fancy meals, but you don't see the debt behind the pictures. You don't see the stress behind the scenes. You don't see the sacrifices they made. When you compare, you create pressure to match someone else's lifestyle, but your financial journey is your own. Comparing only steals your peace and your money. Focus on your progress, not someone else's. One of the most powerful ways to control your money is understanding that every dollar has a purpose. Money is not just for spending. Money is for building. Money is for preparing. Money is for creating opportunities. When you view money as a tool instead of entertainment, your choices become stronger. You start thinking, how can this money help my future? Instead of what can I buy right now? This shift in mindset changes everything. Money control also means paying attention to your emotional triggers. If you spend to feel better, find healthier ways to comfort yourself. If you spend when stressed, find ways to calm your mind. If you spend because you feel bored, Find activities that don't cost money. If you spend because you feel lonely, connect with people instead of buying things. Your emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control your financial decisions. Another helpful practice is celebrating small financial wins. If you save even a small amount, celebrate it. If you avoided an unnecessary purchase, acknowledge it. If you made a good financial decision, appreciate yourself. These small wins build confidence. They remind you that you are capable of controlling your money. They motivate you to continue building good habits. Controlling your money also becomes easier when you improve your mindset about money. Many people believe things like money is bad, money is hard to get, or I'll never have enough. These beliefs create fear and stress. But money is simply a tool. It becomes good or bad based on how you use it. When you see money as something you can learn to manage instead of something that controls you, you become stronger. You make decisions from clarity instead of fear. As you get better at money control, you begin to feel a sense of peace. You no longer panic at the end of the month. You no longer wonder where your money went. You no longer feel trapped by impulsive habits. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to feel proud of your discipline. You begin to build a future that feels secure and stable. Money control connects deeply with the earlier chapters. When your mouth is disciplined, you avoid conflicts and conversations that lead to stress spending. When your mind is calm, you make smarter decisions. When your mood is steady, you avoid emotional spending. Everything is connected. Self-control in one area strengthens self-control in another. This is why controlling your money is not only a financial skill, but a life skill. The more you practice, the stronger you become. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to know everything about finance. You just need awareness, patience, discipline, and consistency. Your financial life will transform one small decision at a time. When you control your money, you control your future. You create stability. You create freedom. You create choices. You build a life that supports your dreams instead of limiting them. And most importantly, you become the kind of person who doesn't depend on luck, emotions, or impulses, but on wisdom, responsibility, and long-term vision. This chapter is the beginning of your financial power. When you control your money, you stop living by chance and start living with purpose. You become confident, steady, and strong, and that strength will follow you into every part of your life. Chapter 5. The discipline behind self-control. Self-control does not happen by accident. It is built with discipline, and discipline is something you create through daily habits. Many people believe that self-control is a natural talent that some people have and others don't, but that is not true. Self-control is a skill, and like any skill, it becomes stronger the more you practice. When you build discipline, you gain the power to guide your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money with intention instead of impulse. Discipline becomes the structure that holds your entire life together. Most people lose control because they live reactively. They react to stress, to pressure, to emotions, to other people's behavior, and to unexpected situations. They react without thinking. They react without pausing. They react because they never trained themselves to respond with discipline. Discipline does not remove emotions or challenges. It gives you the strength to choose your actions instead of letting your emotions choose for you. The first part of discipline is showing up even when you don't feel like it. Feelings are unreliable. Some days you feel motivated, and other days you feel tired, overwhelmed, or uninterested. But discipline does not depend on feelings. Discipline is doing what needs to be done regardless of your mood. When you show up on the days you don't feel like it, you build strength. You teach your mind that your goals are more important than your temporary emotions. Many people wait for motivation before they take action. They wait for the perfect moment, the right mood, or some magical burst of inspiration. But motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes. Discipline stays. When you rely on motivation, You do things only when you feel good. When you rely on discipline, you keep moving even on the difficult days. This is how real progress happens. Small, consistent actions repeated again and again. Discipline also means creating boundaries for yourself. Boundaries are not just for protecting you from other people, they also protect you from your own bad habits. If you know something triggers you, you create distance. If you know certain environments weaken your self-control, you avoid them. If you know certain people drain your energy, you limit your time with them. Boundaries are a form of discipline because they protect your peace, your goals, and your future. Another part of discipline is learning to delay gratification. This means choosing long-term benefits over short-term pleasure. Many people struggle in life because they choose what feels good now instead of what will help them later. They choose entertainment instead of learning. They choose spending instead of saving. They choose arguing instead of staying calm. They choose comfort instead of growth. But when you learn to delay gratification, you gain control over your impulses. You begin to see the bigger picture instead of chasing temporary pleasure. One powerful way to build discipline is to create small promises to yourself and keep them. These promises don't have to be big. Even a simple promise like waking up at the same time every day or reading for 10 minutes builds discipline. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself. You start believing that you can control your actions, but when you constantly break promises to yourself, you lose trust in your own abilities. Discipline grows when your actions match your intentions. Discipline also requires structure. Without structure, your days blend together. You drift through time instead of guiding it. Having routines gives your mind stability. A morning routine, a work routine, a study routine, or even a nighttime routine helps shape your day. Routines reduce decision fatigue and strengthen self-control because they eliminate chaos and create order. When you follow routines, your mind uses less energy deciding what to do and more energy doing what matters. Many people think discipline means living a strict, joyless life, but discipline actually gives you more freedom, not less. When you are disciplined, you have control over your time, your emotions, your habits, and your future. You are not pulled around by impulses. You are not controlled by distractions. You build space in your life for what truly matters. You experience more peace, more productivity, and more purpose. Another important part of discipline is recognizing the difference between comfort and peace. Comfort is avoiding difficulty. Peace is choosing what strengthens you, even if it's hard. People often choose comfort because it feels easy in the moment, but comfort traps you. Comfort keeps you in the same place. Peace comes from self-control, and peace lasts longer than comfort. Discipline helps you choose peace over comfort. Discipline is also built through accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you examine your actions honestly. You don't make excuses. You don't blame others. You take responsibility for your behavior. This honesty helps you grow. If you make a mistake, you acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward. Accountability strengthens discipline because it reminds you that your life is shaped by your choices. Self-control becomes easier when you remove temptations. If you want to stop snacking late at night, don't keep snacks next to your bed. If you want to save money, delete shopping apps. If you want to study more, put your phone in another room. Discipline is not only resisting temptation, it is also setting up your environment so temptation never reaches you. Your surroundings influence your behavior more than you realize. Another important part of discipline is learning to be patient. Growth takes time. Change takes time. You will make progress slowly at first. Some days will feel easy, and other days will feel like you are failing. But discipline teaches you to keep going even when results are not immediate. The discipline you build today will reward you weeks, months, and even years from now. Patience helps you stay focused on the long-term outcome. Your self-talk also affects your discipline. If you constantly tell yourself that you are lazy, undisciplined, or weak, your actions will reflect that belief. But if you tell yourself that you are capable, strong, and improving, your behavior will follow. Words shape identity. Identity shapes habits. Habits shape your life. Speak to yourself in a way that supports your growth instead of weakening it. One of the strongest signs of discipline is emotional control. When you control your emotions, you control your decisions. You stop reacting out of anger or frustration. You stop saying things you didn't mean. You stop making choices you later regret. Emotional discipline gives you clarity. It helps you pause before responding. It helps you think before speaking. It helps you choose calm, even in stressful moments. The more control you have over your emotions, the more control you have over your entire life. Discipline also means choosing consistency. Many people start strongly. They work hard for a few days or weeks, then burn out and quit. But consistency keeps you moving, even when motivation fades. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to show up every day. Even small actions, done consistently, create powerful results. Discipline is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing something every day. Another key part of discipline is learning to forgive yourself. You will make mistakes. You will break your routine sometimes. You will lose control occasionally. Self-control is not about being perfect. It is about returning to your path each time you slip. Many people give up because they feel ashamed of their mistakes. But discipline grows when you treat yourself with compassion. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I will try again." This mindset keeps you moving forward. As your discipline grows, your life becomes calmer. You stop rushing. You stop panicking. You stop acting impulsively. You begin to move with intention, confidence, and clarity. Your relationships improve because you communicate better. Your decisions improve because you think clearly. Your future improves because you act with purpose. Discipline becomes the anchor that keeps you steady in every part of your life. Everything in this book connects back to discipline. Controlling your mouth requires discipline because you must pause before reacting. Controlling your mind requires discipline because you must guide your thoughts. Controlling your mood requires discipline because you must choose calm over chaos. Controlling your money requires discipline because you must make thoughtful decisions. Discipline is the thread that ties all self-control together. When discipline becomes part of who you are, you stop fighting your old habits and start building new ones. You stop wasting time and start protecting your time. You stop chasing short-term pleasure and start creating long-term growth. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is empowerment. It gives you control over your life instead of letting life control you. It helps you create the version of yourself that you dream about becoming. It helps you unlock the strength you didn't know you had. It helps you build a life that reflects your values, your goals, and your inner power. The journey of self-control is really the journey of discipline, and the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. One day you will look back and see how far you've come, not because things became easier, but because you became stronger. Chapter 6: Mastering Your Reactions. Every day, you face moments that test your patience, your emotions, and your self-control. Someone says something rude, someone ignores you, someone blames you unfairly, something goes wrong, stress hits without warning. In these moments, you have a choice. You can react quickly, emotionally, and without thinking, or you can respond with calm clarity and strength. This difference may seem small, but it can change the direction of your entire life. Learning to master your reactions is one of the most important parts of self-control. Your reaction is often the first thing people judge about you. They don't see your thoughts or your intentions. They only see how you respond. A single reaction can build trust or destroy it. It can solve a problem or make it worse. It can open doors or close them forever. This is why mastering your reactions gives you power. It helps you create peace instead of chaos. It helps you protect your relationships, your opportunities, and your reputation. Most people react instantly because they allow their emotions to take the lead. When they feel angry, their mouth reacts. When they feel scared, their mind reacts. When they feel insulted, their mood reacts. Emotional reactions are fast, automatic, and often painful later. Once words are spoken, you cannot take them back. Once actions are taken, you cannot erase them. Many regrets come from moments when emotions were stronger than wisdom. The first step in mastering your reactions is learning to pause. The pause may only last 1 second, but that second is powerful. It gives your brain time to catch up. It gives your emotions time to calm down. It gives your mouth time to stay closed long enough for your mind to think. The pause is your shield. It protects you from saying or doing things you will regret. People who react instantly lose control. People who pause gain control. The pause helps separate the emotion from the action. You may still feel angry or hurt or frustrated, but you don't have to act on that feeling. The feeling is real, but the reaction is your choice. When you pause, you remind yourself that not every emotion deserves a reaction. Not every comment requires a reply. Not every situation needs your energy. When you pause, you take back your power. Another part of mastering your reactions is understanding the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is emotional and immediate. Responding is thoughtful and intentional. Reacting is driven by anger, fear, insecurity, or ego. Responding is guided by wisdom, clarity, and calm. When you react, the situation controls you. When you respond, you control the situation. Many people ruin opportunities because of reactions. They quit a job in anger. They end a friendship in frustration. They argue with someone they should have listened to. They send messages they later wish they hadn't. These reactions often create long-term consequences. But when you respond thoughtfully, you protect your future. Another important part of reaction control is understanding that people's behavior often has nothing to do with you. Someone may speak harshly because they are stressed, not because you did something wrong. Someone may ignore you because they are overwhelmed, not because they don't care. Someone may act cold because they are dealing with their own problems. When you realize that not everything is personal, your reactions become calmer. You stop letting others control your mood. Your reaction becomes stronger when you learn to observe instead of absorb. Observing means noticing the situation without letting it enter your emotions. Absorbing means taking the situation personally and letting it affect your mood. When you observe, you stay calm. When you absorb, you lose control. Learning to observe helps you stay steady, even when everything around you feels chaotic. Mastering your reactions also requires emotional awareness. You must understand what you feel and why you feel it. Sometimes your reaction comes from a deeper place: old wounds, insecurities, fear, stress, or exhaustion. If you don't understand your emotions, you will react blindly. But when you understand your emotions, you can control them. You can decide whether the emotion is real or just temporary. You can decide whether it deserves a response. One helpful practice is asking yourself questions before reacting. Questions like, is this worth my energy? Will this matter later? What is the calmest version of me want to do? Am I reacting from emotion or responding from clarity? These questions shift your mind from emotional mode to thinking mode. They help you respond with intention instead of impulse. Controlling your reactions also means choosing not to engage in unnecessary conflict. Some fights are not worth having. Some arguments have no solution. Some people want a reaction from you because it gives them power. When you stay calm, they lose that power. Silence is sometimes the strongest reaction you can give. Walking away is sometimes the smartest response you can choose. Not everything needs your presence. Not everything deserves your energy. Another part of reaction mastery is learning to calm your body. When your body is tense, your reactions become sharper. When your heart beats fast, your emotions feel stronger. When your breathing is short, your mind becomes cloudy. But when you relax your body, your emotions settle. Deep breathing, stretching, or stepping away for a moment helps your body and mind realign. Physical calm creates emotional calm. Your reactions also improve when you create space between the event and your response. This space may be a deep breath, a few minutes alone, or even a short walk. This space helps you process your feelings instead of acting on them. It helps you return to the situation with a clearer mind. People with strong self-control create space before responding. They don't rush into emotional reactions. They take time to think, then they choose their words carefully. Another important part of mastering your reactions is learning humility. Not every situation needs you to win. Not every disagreement needs you to be right. Sometimes peace is better than victory. Sometimes respect is more valuable than proving a point. When your ego controls your reactions, you create conflict. When humility controls your reactions, you create connection. You also must learn to accept that you cannot control other people. You cannot control their words, their behavior, or their choices. But you can control how you handle them. You can control your tone. You can control your expression. You can control your decision to stay calm. This acceptance gives you emotional freedom. When you stop trying to control everything outside you, you become stronger inside. Another powerful part of reaction control is learning to speak slowly. When you slow your speech, your thoughts slow down too. You give your mind time to choose better words. Slow speech also calms the situation because it signals confidence, not chaos. When people speak slowly, they appear stronger and more grounded. When people speak fast, they appear anxious and out of control. Your tone sets the tone for everyone in the conversation. Mastering your reactions also means learning from your mistakes. There will be times when you react emotionally. There will be moments when you say something you regret. This is normal. No one is perfect, but each mistake becomes a lesson. Each emotional reaction teaches you something about yourself. Each moment you lose control gives you insight into what you need to improve. Growth comes from reflection. If you want strong reaction control, you must practice consistency. You cannot master your reactions in a single day. You must practice again and again. Each time you pause, each time you choose calm, each time you step back instead of exploding, you grow stronger. Your emotional muscles develop, your inner peace expands. Your reactions become more thoughtful, balanced, and stable. Over time, you will notice changes in your life. You will argue less. You will stress less. You will feel more peaceful. People will feel more comfortable around you. They will trust you more. They will respect your calmness. You will become the person others turn to when situations become tense, because calm people create safety. The more control you have over your reactions, the more control you have over your future. Life will always bring challenges, disappointments, and unexpected moments, but your reaction determines whether those moments break you or build you. Your reaction determines whether you grow or stay stuck. Your reaction determines whether you protect your peace or lose it. Mastering your reactions is not just a skill, it is a lifestyle. It is a quiet strength that helps you move through the world with patience, confidence, and emotional wisdom. It is the foundation of self-control. When you master your reactions, you become someone who cannot be shaken easily, someone who remains steady in storms, someone who handles life with grace. Chapter 7. Protecting your energy. Your energy is one of the most valuable things you have. It shapes how you feel, how you think, how you speak, and how you live. When your energy is strong, you feel motivated, focused, and calm. When your energy is drained, everything becomes harder. You lose patience, you lose clarity, and you lose control. Many people don't realize how easily their energy can be affected by their environment, their habits, and the people around them. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary for a healthy and peaceful life. Your energy affects your mood. It affects your mindset. It affects your decisions. If you wake up with good energy, even a difficult day feels manageable. But if you wake up already tired or stressed, even small problems feel overwhelming. This is why controlling your energy is an important part of controlling your life. When your energy is protected, everything else becomes easier to handle. The first step to protecting your energy is noticing what drains it. Every person has energy leaks in their life, places where energy escapes without them realizing it. It might be someone who always complains. It might be a bad habit that leaves you feeling guilty. It might be a messy environment, constant noise, or lack of rest. When you notice what drains your energy, you begin to understand why you feel tired even when you haven't done much. Awareness helps you protect yourself. People play a big role in your energy. Some people lift you up. They make you feel calm, supported, and understood. Others drain you. They bring negativity, chaos, or drama. They demand too much. They take without giving. They complain without trying to change. It doesn't mean they are bad people, but their presence affects your emotional state. You cannot control these people, but you can control how much access they have to your energy. Protecting your energy sometimes means limiting contact with people who exhaust you. You do not have to explain yourself. You do not have to feel guilty. Your peace matters. Another important part of energy protection is learning to say no. Many people lose energy because they say yes to things they don't want to do. They say yes out of guilt. They say yes because they don't want to disappoint others. But every yes is energy. Every commitment takes time, attention, and emotional strength. If you say yes to too much, you spread yourself too thin. You give away the energy you need for your goals, your growth, and your well-being. Saying no is an act of self-control. It protects your time and your peace. Your energy also depends on how you treat yourself. If you don't rest enough, your energy weakens. If you don't drink water or eat well, your body struggles to support your mind. If you avoid movement, your energy becomes stagnant. Physical habits shape emotional energy. When you take care of your body, your mind becomes stronger, calmer, and clearer. A well-rested mind reacts better. A healthy body supports a peaceful mood. Your physical state is deeply connected to your emotional energy. Your environment affects your energy more than you realize. A clean, quiet space helps your mind feel calm. A messy or chaotic space creates stress, even if you don't notice it. Light, noise, temperature, and clutter all influence your energy. When your environment is peaceful, your inner world becomes peaceful too. Creating a calm space doesn't require money. It only requires intention. Keep your environment organized. Remove distractions. Give yourself a place where your mind can breathe. Another way to protect your energy is by controlling your digital life. Constant notifications, endless social media scrolling, online arguments, and comparing yourself to others all drain your emotional strength. Your mind becomes overwhelmed with information. Your emotions become tangled in other people's lives. Protecting your energy may mean turning off notifications, limiting screen time, or taking breaks from social media. You need space for your own thoughts, not just the world's noise. Energy also drains when you carry emotional burdens that don't belong to you. Many people take responsibility for other people's problems. They try to fix everyone. They try to make everyone happy. They take on stress that isn't theirs. This destroys emotional energy. You can care about others without carrying their entire emotional load. You can support people without sacrificing yourself. You are allowed to let others handle their own responsibilities. You are allowed to prioritize your peace. Another part of protecting your energy is managing your inner critic. Sometimes the biggest energy drain is not the outside world. It's your own mind. Negative self-talk, guilt, shame, and replaying mistakes drain your strength. When you constantly criticize yourself, You weaken your confidence. You lose motivation. You feel exhausted without doing anything. Protecting your energy requires speaking to yourself with kindness. Treat yourself like someone you care about. Encourage yourself. Support yourself. Forgive yourself. The way you speak to yourself can either drain you or restore you. Your energy grows when you understand that not every battle needs to be fought. Some things are not worth your attention. Some arguments are not worth your voice. Some situations do not deserve your reaction. Protecting your energy means choosing peace over unnecessary conflict. It means walking away from what steals your joy. It means refusing to argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Silence can be a powerful shield. Another key to energy protection is managing expectations. When you expect too much from people, you feel disappointed. When you expect perfection from yourself, you feel stressed. When you expect life to be easy, you feel frustrated. Accept that not everything will go your way. Accept that people will make mistakes. Accept that you will make mistakes. Acceptance protects your energy because it prevents emotional exhaustion. Fighting reality drains you. Accepting it frees you. Protecting your energy also means giving yourself mental breaks. Your mind is not designed to work non-stop. If you push yourself too hard, your emotions become unstable. You become irritated, overwhelmed, or numb. Giving yourself short breaks throughout the day helps restore your energy. Even a few minutes of silence, breathing, or closing your eyes can refresh your mind. Rest is not laziness. Rest is fuel. Your energy increases when you spend time doing activities that bring you joy. Joy is not a luxury. It is nourishment. Doing things that make you smile, make you feel creative, or make you feel alive strengthens your emotional energy. It helps you recover from stress. It reminds you that life is more than responsibilities. Protecting your energy means giving yourself permission to enjoy life. Another powerful way to protect your energy is by keeping your goals private until they are stronger. Sharing your plans with everyone exposes them to criticism, doubt, and negativity. Some people will not understand your dreams. Some will doubt you. Some will discourage you. Their reactions can drain your energy and weaken your motivation. Protect your goals by working on them quietly. Let your results speak instead of your words. Your energy also depends on letting go of the past. Carrying past mistakes, past pain, or past regrets weighs you down. It steals your mental strength. It keeps you trapped in old emotions. You cannot build a peaceful life while holding on to old storms. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from the emotional weight. It means choosing healing over holding on. When you release the past, your energy rises. Protecting your energy means choosing your battles, choosing your environment, choosing your habits, and choosing your thoughts. It means understanding that your peace is precious and should not be given away easily. It means being responsible for your own emotional health, instead of waiting for others to create peace for you. As you begin to protect your energy, you will notice changes. You will feel calmer. Your mind will feel clearer. Your reactions will become softer. Your mood will become more stable. You will make better decisions. You will handle stress more easily. You will feel lighter because you are no longer carrying everyone else's weight or your own past. Your relationships will improve because you will no longer be drained or overwhelmed. You will communicate more clearly. You will listen more patiently. You will choose people who support your growth, not people who drain your spirit. Protecting your energy prepares you for every other form of self-control. You cannot control your money when your energy is low. You cannot control your mood when your energy is scattered. You cannot control your mind when your energy is drained. Energy is the foundation of all discipline. By protecting your energy, you protect your peace, your purpose, and your future. You become emotionally stronger, mentally clearer, and spiritually grounded. You begin to move through the world with calm confidence. You learn to give your energy to the right things and the right people. You stop wasting your strength on things that do not help you grow. Protecting your energy is an act of self-love, self-respect, and self-discipline. It is how you stay true to yourself in a world full of noise, pressure, and distractions. And as you learn to protect your energy, you become someone who grows quietly, thinks clearly, feels deeply, and lives intentionally. Chapter 8. Choosing peace over drama. Peace is one of the greatest forms of power you can have in life. Anyone can create drama. Anyone can argue. Anyone can react loudly. But it takes strength to stay calm. It takes wisdom to choose peace. And it takes emotional maturity to walk away from things that try to pull you into chaos. Most people do not realize that peace is a choice you have to make again and again, especially when life becomes stressful or people try to provoke you. Learning to choose peace over drama is one of the most important parts of controlling your mouth, mind, mood, and money. Drama is easy because it is emotional. It makes your heart beat fast. It makes your thoughts spin. It makes you feel like you must defend yourself, prove yourself, or win the argument. But drama steals your energy. It steals your clarity. It steals your focus. And it often leaves you with regret. When you choose peace, you choose strength, you choose control, you choose clarity, you choose to protect your mental and emotional space rather than letting the situation control you. The first thing to understand is that drama usually begins with reaction, not intention. Many people don't plan to create drama. It simply happens because they react quickly to their emotions. They feel insulted and react. They feel ignored and react. They feel jealous and react. They feel misunderstood and react. Emotional reactions create emotional explosions. But when you stay calm, the situation loses its power over you. Peace begins the moment you decide not to feed the chaos. Another important part of choosing peace is understanding that not everything deserves your attention. Some messages don't need a reply. Some insults don't need to be defended. Some people don't need access to your emotion. When you give attention to drama, you give it power. When you ignore it, it fades. You cannot control what people say about you, but you can control what you respond to. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is protection. Silence is emotional maturity. Many people feel the need to explain themselves in every situation. They want everyone to understand their point of view. They want to correct every misunderstanding. But sometimes explaining yourself invites more drama instead of solving anything. Some people do not want clarity. They want conflict. Some people do not want peace. They want attention. When you learn that not everyone deserves an explanation, your life becomes lighter. Peace grows when you stop chasing approval. Choosing peace also means learning to walk away. Walking away does not mean you lost. Walking away means you refuse to let chaos control you. It means you chose your mental health over the argument. It means you valued your peace more than your ego. You do not have to stay in every conversation. You do not have to finish every fight. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. The strongest people are not the ones who shout the loudest, but the ones who walk away from unnecessary battles. Another part of choosing peace is understanding that some people thrive on drama. They feel uncomfortable when things are calm. They enjoy stirring emotions. They enjoy seeing reactions. They enjoy conflict because it gives them a sense of control or excitement. You cannot change these people, but you can control how close they get to you. You can choose distance. You can choose boundaries. You can choose not to feed their behavior. Drama only grows if you participate in it. Your environment also affects your ability to stay peaceful. If you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, argue, gossip, or create problems, your mind becomes heavy, your mood becomes unstable, your energy becomes drained. But when you surround yourself with calm, supportive, and balanced people, you naturally begin to feel more peaceful. The people in your life play a big role in the peace you experience. Choose people who value calmness. Choose people who encourage growth. Choose people who help you stay grounded. Your peace also depends on the expectations you set for yourself and others. When you expect everyone to understand you, agree with you, or treat you perfectly, you become disappointed and frustrated. These emotions create drama inside your mind. But when you accept that people are imperfect, life becomes easier. When you accept that misunderstandings happen, your reactions soften. When you accept that people make mistakes, forgiveness becomes easier. Acceptance protects your peace. Choosing peace does not mean ignoring your feelings. It means expressing them with calmness and clarity. When something upsets you, you can communicate without shouting. When something hurts you, you can talk about it without attacking. When something bothers you, you can set boundaries without anger. Peaceful communication is not about acting emotionless. It is about expressing emotions without losing control. It is about choosing words that protect the relationship instead of damaging it. Another powerful way to choose peace is by controlling your inner voice. Many times the drama is not outside, it is inside your mind. You replay conversations, you imagine worst-case scenarios, you argue with yourself, you carry old memories that still hurt. You fight invisible battles. All this inner drama drains your energy. But when you learn to quiet your mind, you create internal peace. You can tell your mind to stop. You can remind yourself that not every thought deserves your attention. You can choose calm thoughts. You can choose supportive thoughts. Your inner world shapes your outer world. Peace also grows when you stop taking things personally. Many conflicts begin because someone assumes another person's behavior is meant to hurt them. But often, people act based on their own emotions, not because of you. Someone may be rude because they are stressed. Someone may be distant because they are overwhelmed. Someone may be sharp because they are hurting. When you stop assuming everything is about you, you protect your peace. You avoid unnecessary drama. You give people space to be human. Another important part of choosing peace is letting go of control. You cannot control what people say. You cannot control what people think. You cannot control their choices or their emotions. Trying to control others leads to frustration, anger, and disappointment. But when you let go of control, you gain peace. You learn to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. Peace grows when you stop trying to manage everything outside yourself. A peaceful life also requires forgiveness. Holding on to anger or resentment creates internal drama. It keeps you emotionally stuck. It makes your mind heavy. Forgiveness does not mean you accept what someone did. It means you choose to release the emotional weight. Forgiveness frees your mind. It frees your heart. It frees your future. Forgiving others and forgiving yourself are powerful steps toward long-lasting peace. Choosing peace means choosing your future over your feelings. It means choosing clarity over chaos. It means choosing stability over emotional storms. It means valuing your mental health more than temporary satisfaction. Peaceful choices create peaceful lives. As you begin choosing peace, you will notice changes in your life. You will feel lighter. You will sleep better. Your mind will feel clearer. Your relationships will become healthier. You will handle conflict more calmly. People will feel safer around you because they know you are not easily provoked. You will no longer feel drained by small problems or loud people. You will become more focused because your mind is not busy fighting unnecessary battles. Peace will help you make better decisions. When you are calm, you think clearly. When you are overwhelmed, your judgment weakens. This is why peaceful people often succeed. They can stay calm while others panic. They can think logically while others react emotionally. They can see solutions while others see problems. Peace is not laziness. Peace is leadership. Choosing peace is a daily practice. Some days will be easy. Some days will be difficult. You will face moments where your old reactions try to return. You will feel tempted to argue, defend, or prove something. But each time you choose calmness instead of chaos, you strengthen your inner peace. Each time you walk away from drama, you protect your energy. Each time you speak softly instead of shouting, you build emotional strength. Over time, peace becomes your natural state. You begin to enjoy your own company. You begin to value silence. You begin to love quiet moments. You begin to choose environments and people that help you grow. You begin to feel the difference between chaos and calm. And once you experience true peace, drama will no longer interest you. Peace is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself. It shapes your decisions, your relationships, your habits, and your future. When you choose peace, you choose a stronger version of yourself, a wiser version, a more stable and focused version. Drama destroys lives, peace builds them. And the more you practice choosing peace, the more powerful you become. Not because you fight harder, but because you no longer need to fight at all. Chapter 9. Becoming the leader of your own life. Leadership doesn't start with leading others, it starts with leading yourself. Many people think leadership is about being in charge, giving orders, or having power over others. But true leadership is about guiding your own decisions, actions, and emotions in a way that creates stability and direction in your life. When you become the leader of your own life, you develop confidence, discipline, and wisdom. You stop being controlled by your impulses, by your fears, or by other people's expectations. You become someone who moves with purpose instead of pressure. Becoming the leader of your life starts with responsibility. Responsibility means understanding that your life is shaped by your choices. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can control the words you use, the actions you take, the thoughts you allow, and the emotions you feed. When you take responsibility for your reactions instead of blaming others, you step into leadership. Leaders do not waste time blaming. They focus on solutions. They focus on growth. They focus on becoming better each day. Self-leadership also requires clarity. A leader knows where they are going. Many people drift through life without direction. They wake up, do the same things, and go to sleep without thinking about their purpose or their goals. Their days feel empty, and their emotions feel heavy because they are not living intentionally. But when you have clarity, your life feels lighter. Clarity gives you a sense of direction. It helps you avoid distractions. It helps you make decisions that support your future instead of destroying it. Clarity begins with understanding who you are and who you want to become. What kind of person do you want to be? What habits do you want to build? What kind of life do you want to live? What values matter to you? When you answer these questions, you begin to lead yourself with intention instead of simply reacting to your surroundings. Clarity gives your life shape. Without clarity, life feels like chaos. Another important part of becoming the leader of your life is self-discipline. Discipline is what helps you follow through with your goals, even when your motivation disappears. Motivation feels good, but it comes and goes. Discipline stays. When you are disciplined, you keep your promises to yourself. You show up even when it's hard. You stay committed even when it's uncomfortable. Every disciplined choice builds your strength and shapes your identity. Discipline is the foundation of leadership. When you lead yourself, you also learn to manage your time and energy. Time is limited. Energy is limited. Leaders understand the importance of using both wisely. They avoid wasting time on things that don't matter. They avoid wasting energy on people who drain them. They choose their priorities carefully. They plan their days with intention. They understand that every choice shapes their future. When you use your time and energy purposefully, your life becomes more productive and peaceful. Becoming the leader of your life also means setting boundaries. Boundaries protect your emotional and mental health. They create space for your growth. They prevent people from controlling your time, your mood, or your decisions. Boundaries tell others how to treat you. Leaders set boundaries not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. They understand that without boundaries, their lives become chaotic and their peace disappears. You must protect your time, your focus, and your energy if you want to lead yourself well. Another part of self-leadership is learning to trust yourself. Trust grows through experience. Every time you make a good decision, your trust in yourself becomes stronger. Every time you reflect on a mistake and learn from it, your trust becomes deeper. But if you ignore your intuition, if you break your promises to yourself, or if you let fear control your choices, your self-trust weakens. Trust is the foundation of confidence. When you trust yourself, you move through life with a sense of inner strength that others can feel. Leading yourself also means taking control of your inner voice. Your inner voice can either be your greatest supporter or your biggest enemy. If your inner voice constantly criticizes you, doubts you, or scares you, your life becomes filled with anxiety. But if your inner voice encourages you, supports you, and guides you, your life becomes filled with confidence. Leaders train their inner voice to be calm and steady. They replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. They speak to themselves with kindness and strength. When you control your inner voice, you control your life. Another essential part of leadership is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means understanding your emotions and using them wisely. It means recognizing when you're frustrated, angry, sad, or overwhelmed, and choosing a healthy response rather than reacting impulsively. Emotional intelligence helps you stay grounded in difficult moments. It helps you communicate clearly. It helps you avoid unnecessary conflicts. It helps you make decisions with clarity instead of emotion. Leaders do not deny their emotions, they manage them. Leadership also requires patience. Growth takes time. Change takes time. Self-control takes time. There will be days when you feel strong and in control, and days when you feel weak or overwhelmed. Leaders do not quit on themselves during hard days. They stay consistent, they stay committed, they understand that progress is not always visible, but is always happening. Patience helps you continue even when results are slow. Another element of leading yourself is choosing the right influences. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset. If you are around negative, angry, or careless people, their habits begin to influence you. But if you surround yourself with focused, disciplined, peaceful, and responsible people, your life begins to change. Leaders choose their environment wisely. They choose people who inspire them, challenge them, and support their growth. Your environment determines your energy. Your energy determines your decisions. Leading yourself also means learning how to handle mistakes. No leader is perfect. No human is perfect. You will make mistakes. You will react emotionally sometimes. You will break your routines. You will lose control once in a while. But mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are lessons. Leaders reflect on their mistakes instead of judging themselves harshly. They ask, "What can I learn from this?" and use that learning to improve. Every mistake becomes fuel for growth when you approach it with the right mindset. Another powerful part of leadership is learning to move quietly. You don't need to announce every plan. You don't need approval from everyone. You don't need applause for every step forward. When you move quietly, you stay focused. You protect your goals from outside negativity. You grow without pressure. Leaders understand that real strength grows in silence and shows itself in results. When you stop seeking attention, you start gaining real progress. Leading yourself also means becoming dependable. You follow through on your commitments. You show up on time. You finish what you start. You become someone others can trust. But more importantly, you become someone you can trust. Dependability builds confidence. It builds discipline. It builds a strong identity. When you are dependable, your future becomes stronger because you are building it with consistency rather than chaos. Another important part of leadership is communicating with calmness. Leaders don't shout. They don't insult. They don't react quickly. They use their words carefully. They speak to understand, not to win. They listen more than they talk. When you communicate with calmness, people respect you more. Conflicts decrease. Misunderstandings become easier to solve. Calm communication is a sign of emotional maturity and self-control. Becoming the leader of your life also requires courage. The courage to make decisions that others may not understand. The courage to stand alone when necessary. The courage to protect your peace. And the courage to change your life even when it's uncomfortable. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. Leaders grow through courage. As you continue leading yourself, your life begins to transform. You feel less controlled by emotions. You speak with more confidence. You make clearer decisions. You let go of drama. You stop chasing validation. You become more focused on your goals. You build a stronger inner world that is not shaken by outside noise. People will also notice your change. They will sense your calmness. They will feel your strength. They will trust your presence. They may come to you for advice because they see how steady you are. But remember, your goal is not to lead others. It is to lead yourself. When you lead yourself well, everything else in life becomes easier. Being the leader of your life means taking control of your path. It means choosing your habits intentionally. It means shaping your future through discipline, clarity, and calmness. It means refusing to live on autopilot. It means deciding who you want to become and working toward that version of yourself every day. Leadership is not a title. It is a lifestyle. It grows quietly inside you. It shows in the way you speak, the way you think, the way you react, and the way you choose peace over chaos. Becoming the leader of your own life is the highest form of self-control and the strongest path to personal freedom. Chapter 10. Building a calm inner world. A calm inner world is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. When your inner world is calm, everything outside feels easier to handle. Problems feel lighter. Stress feels less powerful. Conflicts feel less personal. Your mind feels clearer, and your decisions become smarter. Most people do not realize how much of their life is shaped by the state of their inner world. If your mind is noisy, your life becomes noisy. If your thoughts are chaotic, your days become chaotic. But if your inner world is peaceful, your life begins to flow with a sense of clarity and strength that is impossible to fake. The truth is, peace starts inside you, not outside. Many people believe they will feel calm when life becomes easier, when people treat them better, when they have more money, or when their problems disappear. But peace does not come from perfect conditions. Peace comes from a steady mind. Peace comes from understanding your emotions. Peace comes from learning to respond instead of reacting. Peace comes from choosing what thoughts deserve your attention. When you build a calm inner world, you become strong even in difficult times. Your inner world becomes calm when you learn to slow down your thoughts. Thoughts move fast. They jump from one idea to another. They create stories, fears, memories, and worries. But you don't have to follow every thought. You don't have to believe every thought. You can watch your thoughts the same way you watch clouds pass in the sky. Some clouds are dark. Some are light. But none of them stay forever. Your thoughts are the same. When you learn to observe your thoughts instead of reacting to them, your mind becomes calmer. Another important part of building a calm inner world is creating mental space. Many people keep their minds filled with noise, constant scrolling, constant talking, constant worrying, constant stimulation. Their minds never rest. This mental overload creates stress and anxiety. But when you create moments of stillness, your mind begins to breathe. Stillness is not boring. Stillness is healing. Even a few quiet minutes alone, without distractions, can calm your thoughts and soften your emotions. The more stillness you allow into your day, the calmer your inner world becomes. A calm inner world also requires understanding your emotions. Emotions are not your enemy. They are signals. Fear signals protection, Anger signals hurt or disrespect. Sadness signals loss. Stress signals overwhelm. But when you avoid or suppress emotions, they become stronger and louder. When you understand them, they soften. Calm people are not emotionless. Calm people simply recognize their emotions without letting them take control. They say, I feel angry, but I don't need to react with anger. They say, I feel stressed, but I can handle this step by step. When you separate your emotions from your actions, your inner world becomes peaceful. Another way to build inner calm is by controlling what you consume. Information is powerful. It can calm your mind or overload your mind. Negative news, online arguments, endless social media comparison, and constant noise all disturb your inner peace. They make your mind restless and anxious. But when you choose what to allow inside your mind, your emotions stabilize. You can choose to read something uplifting. You can choose music that relaxes you. You can choose silence when you need it. You can choose positivity instead of negativity. Protecting your mind is a form of self-respect. Your environment also influences your inner world. A clean room creates calm. A messy room creates stress. Natural light lifts your energy. Clutter drags it down. A peaceful environment makes it easier to feel peaceful inside. You don't need expensive things to create a calming environment. You just need intention. You can remove things you don't need. You can keep your space organized. You can create a small corner where your mind feels safe. When your environment supports your peace, your inner world grows stronger. Another powerful practice for calming your inner world is focusing on your breath. Breathing may seem simple, but it is deeply connected to your emotions. When you feel stressed, your breathing becomes fast. When you feel anxious, your breathing becomes shallow. When you feel calm, your breathing becomes slow and steady. If you change your breath, you can change your emotion. Slow, deep breaths tell your mind that you are safe. They bring your nervous system back into balance. They help your thoughts slow down and your feelings settle. Your breath is a tool you carry with you everywhere, and it can calm your inner world anytime you use it intentionally. A calm inner world also comes from choosing your battles wisely. Not every situation deserves your energy. Not every comment deserves your reaction. Not every person deserves your attention. When you let go of unnecessary battles, you protect your peace. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is walk away. Sometimes silence is stronger than arguing. Sometimes accepting what you cannot change is the most peaceful choice. Calm people understand this. They protect their inner world by avoiding chaos. Another important part of building a calm inner world is practicing patience. Patience is not about waiting quietly. Patience is about trusting the process. It is about understanding that good things take time. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Self-control takes time. When you expect everything to happen quickly, you create stress for yourself. But when you practice patience, your mind relaxes. You release pressure. You allow life to unfold naturally. Patience makes your inner world peaceful. Your calmness also grows when you learn to let go of the past. Many people carry old pain, old guilt, old embarrassment, or old anger inside them. These emotions take up space in the mind. They make your inner world heavy. They disturb your peace. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means you are choosing freedom over emotional weight. It means you are choosing healing over suffering. When you let go of the past, your inner world becomes lighter and more open to peace. Another key to inner calm is controlling your imagination. Your mind is powerful. It can imagine wonderful possibilities, but it can also imagine terrible outcomes. Many people suffer more from their imagination than from reality. They imagine problems that never happen. They imagine rejection, failure, or disaster. This creates anxiety and steals peace. But you can guide your imagination. You can imagine success instead of failure. You can imagine yourself staying calm. You can imagine solutions instead of problems. When your imagination works for you instead of against you, your inner world becomes peaceful. A calm inner world also requires forgiveness. Forgiveness is emotional release. When you hold on to anger, it burns inside you. When you hold on to resentment, it poisons your peace. Forgiveness frees your heart. It frees your mind. It frees your energy. Forgiveness does not mean the other person was right. It means you choose peace instead of emotional pain. Forgiving yourself is also important. You are human. You will make mistakes. You will react emotionally sometimes. You will fall short of your goals. Forgive yourself and move forward with compassion. Your inner world becomes calmer when you stop fighting yourself. Gratitude is another powerful tool for inner peace. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. It reminds your mind that life has good moments, even on difficult days. Gratitude softens the heart. It creates warmth inside your emotions. It strengthens your inner peace because it teaches your mind to see the positive even when life is messy. A grateful mind is a calm mind. Your inner world also becomes peaceful when you limit the amount of mental pressure you put on yourself. Many people demand perfection from themselves. They expect to always be strong, always be productive, always be calm. But these unrealistic expectations create stress. Accepting your humanity creates peace. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will handle things well. Some days you will struggle. You do not need to be perfect to be peaceful. You just need to be gentle with yourself. A calm inner world does not mean your life will have no challenges. Life will always have ups and downs. But when your inner world is calm, you can handle these challenges without losing yourself. You can think clearly. You can stay grounded. You can respond thoughtfully. You can protect your peace even when the outside world feels chaotic. People with a calm inner world are not easily shaken. They think before they speak. They stay centered when others panic. They see solutions where others see problems. They move slowly, but with purpose. They choose their actions with intention. They do not allow drama, noise, or negativity to pull them off balance. Their calmness becomes their strength. As you build your calm inner world, you will notice your relationships improving. You will listen more patiently. You will speak more gently. You will handle disagreements without exploding. You will stop arguing over small things. You will stop taking everything personally. Peace inside creates peace outside. You will also notice your confidence growing. Calmness gives you power. When your mind is steady, you feel more in control. You feel more capable. You feel more secure. Calm confidence is quieter than loud confidence, but it is much stronger. It does not need attention. It does not need approval. It comes from within. Your goals will also become easier to achieve. A calm mind focuses better. It learns faster. It makes better decisions. It handles pressure without breaking. A calm inner world creates a strong outer world. Building a calm inner world is a journey. It takes time, practice, and patience. But every small step matters. Every moment of stillness strengthens you. Every calm reaction builds confidence. Every peaceful choice shapes your future. And slowly, without even realizing it, you become someone who carries calmness wherever you go. Someone who cannot be easily disturbed. Someone who brings peace into every room. Someone who leads their life with clarity, wisdom, and emotional strength. Chapter 11. Breaking your old patterns. Every person has patterns. These patterns shape your reactions, your habits, your emotions, and even your future. Some patterns help you grow, but many patterns hold you back. They keep you repeating the same mistakes, feeling the same pain, and living the same life year after year. If you want real change, you cannot just control your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. You must break the old patterns that keep pulling you into the same cycles. Breaking old patterns is one of the hardest parts of self-control, but it is also one of the most life-changing. Old patterns form from past experiences, emotions, and habits. Maybe you grew up in a home where people shouted a lot, so shouting became your way of reacting. Maybe you were ignored or criticized, so now you expect the worst from people. Maybe you faced stress or instability, so now you panic easily. Maybe you were hurt in relationships, so now you protect yourself by pushing people away. Old patterns often come from old pain. And unless you break those patterns, the past continues to shape your future. The first step to breaking old patterns is noticing them. Many people don't even realize they are repeating the same emotional cycles. They think life keeps giving them the same problems, but in reality, they keep responding the same way. You cannot break a pattern you cannot see. Pay attention to the moments when you feel triggered. Pay attention to the habits you fall into automatically. Pay attention to the thoughts that repeat in your mind. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. Once you become aware of your patterns, the next step is understanding where they come from. Patterns are not random. They have roots. They come from something your mind learned to do in order to survive, protect you, or make you feel safe in the past. For example, if you always expect people to leave you, that pattern may come from someone leaving you in the past. If you shut down when you feel hurt, that pattern may come from growing up in a place where your emotions were ignored. If you avoid challenges, that pattern may come from past failure. Understanding the origin of your pattern helps you break it with compassion instead of judgment. Breaking patterns requires patience. These patterns have lived inside you for years. They will not disappear overnight. They will show up again and again, especially when you are stressed, tired, or emotional. But each time you handle the situation differently, even in a small way, the pattern weakens. Each time you choose a new response, you create a new path in your mind. Changing your brain takes repetition. But every small step matters. One of the most powerful ways to break old patterns is by choosing the opposite action. If your pattern is to shut down when someone upsets you, try expressing yourself calmly instead. If your pattern is to argue when you feel disrespected, try pausing and choosing silence. If your pattern is to run away from problems, try facing them gently but directly. Opposite actions confuse the old pattern. They teach your brain that you have new options. They build emotional strength. Another important part of pattern breaking is learning to sit with discomfort. Old patterns feel comfortable because they are familiar, not because they are healthy. You may feel uncomfortable when you try something new. You may feel exposed, nervous, or unsure, but discomfort is a sign of growth. You cannot build a new life while staying in old comfort zones. You must allow discomfort to be part of the journey. The more you face discomfort, the less power it has over you. Breaking old patterns also requires emotional honesty. You must be honest with yourself about your fears, your behaviors, and your weaknesses. Many people avoid this honesty because it feels vulnerable, but hiding from the truth keeps you stuck. You cannot heal what you refuse to face. Being honest with yourself is not about judging yourself, it is about understanding yourself. The more you understand your inner world, the easier it becomes to change your outer world. Another powerful skill for breaking patterns is replacing negative self-talk with empowering self-talk. Old patterns often come from negative beliefs, beliefs that say, "I'm not good enough," "people always hurt me," "I always fail," or "I can't change." These beliefs keep your patterns alive. They are the glue that holds your old behavior in place. But you can replace these beliefs with new ones. You can tell yourself, "I am capable of change," "I deserve respect," "I can handle challenges," or "my past does not control me." When you change your beliefs, your behavior begins to change too. Many patterns are triggered by emotional wounds that you have never healed. These wounds show up in your reactions. They show up in your choices. They show up in your relationships. Healing these wounds is part of breaking the pattern. Healing does not mean forgetting what happened. It means freeing yourself from its control. It means letting go of the shame, fear, or anger that came with the experience. Healing happens slowly, often in small pieces, but every step of healing weakens the old pattern. Breaking old patterns also means surrounding yourself with people who support your growth. If you stay around people who expect you to behave the old way, your patterns will stay alive. But if you surround yourself with people who respect your growth, listen to your needs, and encourage your change, you will grow faster. The right people help you see who you can become, not who you used to be. You do not have to change your whole circle, but you must protect your growth from people who are comfortable with your old patterns. Another important part of breaking patterns is slowing down your reactions. Old patterns are usually fast. They happen automatically. They jump out before you think. But when you slow down, when you breathe, when you pause, when you reflect, you interrupt the automatic behavior. You create space for a new choice. You cannot break a pattern if you move too quickly. Slowing down gives your mind the chance to take control. As you break old patterns, you will begin to notice something powerful. Your emotional triggers become weaker. Things that once made you explode no longer bother you. Things that once made you panic no longer control you. Things that once made you shut down slowly lose their power. Your confidence grows because you realize that you are no longer stuck in old reactions. You become emotionally stronger, more stable, and more in control. Another key part of breaking patterns is celebrating small wins. Every time you handle a situation better than before, that is progress. Every time you stay calm when you would have lost control, that is growth. Every time you choose peace instead of drama, you break the pattern. Recognize these moments. Celebrate them quietly. They are proof that you are changing, even if the change feels slow. Old patterns often come back when life becomes stressful. This does not mean you failed. It simply means you are human. When old patterns return, use it as a reminder to practice again. Patterns are strong, but your consistency will eventually overpower them. You do not break patterns through perfection. You break them through persistence. Breaking old patterns also means rewriting the story you tell about yourself. Many people believe their patterns are permanent. They say things like, "This is just how I am, I can't change," or "I've always been this way." But these beliefs trap you in the past. You are not your old patterns. You are the person learning to rise above them. You have the power to rewrite your story. You can decide who you want to be moving forward. Your past is not your future. As you continue breaking your old patterns, your life will begin to transform. You will react differently. You will think differently. You will feel differently. You will make decisions with clarity instead of impulse. You will stop repeating the same painful cycles. You will start creating new, healthier cycles. You will grow into someone who does not live by habit, but by intention. Your relationships will also change. Old patterns often create conflict, misunderstandings, or emotional distance. But when you break your patterns, your relationships become calmer and stronger. You learn to communicate better. You learn to listen more. You learn to express yourself without fear or anger. You learn to connect in healthier ways. Breaking your patterns not only heals you, it heals your relationships. Your mind becomes lighter. Your mood becomes more stable. Your confidence grows. Your future opens up. You no longer feel trapped in old ways of thinking or reacting. You begin to feel free, free to choose, free to grow, free to become the best version of yourself. Breaking old patterns is an act of self-love. It is a promise to yourself that you will not keep living in cycles that hurt you. It is a commitment to growth, healing, and transformation. And each step you take, no matter how small, builds a stronger version of you. One who is capable of leading your life with wisdom, clarity, and emotional strength. Chapter 12. Becoming the strongest version of yourself. There comes a moment in every person's life when they finally understand that strength is not something you find outside. It is something you build inside. Strength comes from the choices you make, the habits you create, the emotions you learn to control, and the patience you develop with yourself. This entire journey, controlling your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money, has been about building this inner strength, a strength that is calm, steady, and unshakable. A strength that does not depend on other people or outside approval. A strength that lives quietly inside you and guides the way you move through the world. Becoming the strongest version of yourself does not mean becoming hard or emotionless. It means becoming stable. It means becoming centered. It means becoming someone who can face difficulties without falling apart. Someone who can feel emotions without being controlled by them. Someone who can stay calm in moments of chaos and stay thoughtful in moments of pressure. Inner strength is not loud. Inner strength is quiet, but powerful. You carry it in your voice, in your eyes, in your reactions, and in your decisions. The strongest version of yourself begins with self-awareness. When you understand your thoughts, your emotions, your patterns, and your triggers, you gain power. You no longer move blindly through life. You recognize when you are slipping into old habits. You recognize when your emotions are rising. You recognize when your mind is becoming noisy. And because you understand yourself, you can control yourself. Many people feel powerless because they don't understand their inner world. But the more awareness you build, the more control you gain. Becoming strong also requires letting go of your ego. Ego pushes you to react. Ego pushes you to argue. Ego pushes you to prove yourself. Ego makes you believe that every insult needs a reaction and every disagreement needs a fight. But ego destroys peace. Ego creates conflict. Ego makes life heavier. The strongest people are not controlled by ego. They do not need recognition to feel worthy. They do not need attention to feel important. They remain calm because they know who they are. They do not waste energy defending their value. Their value is not up for debate. Strength also comes from discipline. Discipline shapes your life more than motivation ever will. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Discipline helps you wake up when you feel tired. Discipline helps you stay calm when emotions are high. Discipline helps you save money instead of spending it on impulse. Discipline helps you speak thoughtfully instead of reacting in anger. Every disciplined choice builds your character. Every disciplined action makes your inner world stronger and more grounded. Another part of becoming strong is learning how to protect your peace. Peace is not something you get from others. It is something you create inside yourself. And you protect it by choosing what you allow into your life. You protect it by avoiding drama. You protect it by walking away from chaos. You protect it by limiting your exposure to negative people and negative environments. You protect it by saying no when something does not align with your values or goals. Protecting your peace is one of the biggest signs of inner strength. Weak people want to be everywhere. Strong people choose wisely. Strength also comes from healing. You cannot build a powerful future while carrying the weight of past wounds. Many people walk around with pain they never talk about, mistakes they never forgave themselves for, and memories that still hurt. These hidden wounds show up in reactions, in habits, and in relationships. Healing does not erase the past. Healing frees you from the past. It allows you to move forward without emotional chains. Healing takes courage because it requires facing your pain instead of running from it. But every step you take toward healing makes your inner world stronger. Another important part of strength is staying grounded when life tests you. Life will not always go the way you want. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Emotions will rise. Stress will come. But strong people do not collapse under pressure. They take a breath. They think. They stay patient. They stay calm. They trust that they can handle the challenge. A calm mind is a strong mind. When you stay grounded, you turn every problem into an opportunity to grow. Strength is not about avoiding challenges. Strength is about facing challenges with clarity. Becoming strong also means taking responsibility for your future. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to live your life for you. No one is coming to fix your habits. No one is coming to build your discipline. You are the one who must shape your life. And the moment you accept that responsibility, you step into your true power. You stop waiting. You start acting. You stop blaming. You start improving. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the beginning of freedom. Another part of inner strength is learning how to manage solitude. Many people fear being alone because they don't like facing their own thoughts. But solitude is a powerful tool. It helps you reflect. It helps you grow. It helps you reconnect with yourself. When you enjoy your own company, you become less dependent on others for validation. You stop chasing attention. You stop fearing silence. You start hearing your own voice clearly. Strength grows in quiet moments when you learn to sit with yourself peacefully. Strength also comes from choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. Short-term pleasure feels good in the moment. Buying something you can't afford, saying something out of anger, skipping responsibilities, or giving in to impulse. But these choices weaken you over time. They create stress, debt, guilt, and regret. Long-term growth requires patience, discipline, and sacrifice. It requires saying no to impulses and yes to your future. Short-term pleasure gives you a moment of satisfaction. Long-term growth gives you a lifetime of stability. Strong people choose the future over the moment. Another sign of strength is controlling your reactions. Anyone can react. Anyone can explode. Anyone can panic. But it takes strength to pause. It takes strength to breathe. It takes strength to stay calm when someone tries to provoke you. It takes strength to respond thoughtfully instead of attacking emotionally. Calm reactions do not make you weak. They make you powerful. They show that you are not controlled by others. You are controlled by yourself. A person who can control their reaction can control the direction of their life. Strength also comes from consistency. You do not become strong by doing something once. You become strong by doing it again and again. Consistency builds confidence. Consistency builds discipline. Consistency builds habits that shape your entire future. Even on days when you feel tired or unmotivated, showing up creates progress. Consistency will always beat intensity. Consistency will always beat perfection. One small action repeated daily creates a stronger life than one big action done once. Another part of becoming the strongest version of yourself is learning how to forgive yourself for your past. You are not the same person you were years ago. You are not defined by your old mistakes. You are not trapped by your old habits. You are learning. You are growing. You are changing. You are becoming better. Holding on to guilt or shame only slows your progress. Strength means allowing yourself to grow without constantly punishing yourself. You deserve a chance to become better. Strength also involves being emotionally balanced. Emotions will always be part of life. You will feel joy, sadness, fear, anger, excitement, disappointment, and hope. But emotional balance means you do not become lost in any emotion. You feel your emotions, but you do not act blindly. You allow emotions to move through you without letting them control your behavior. This balance allows you to stay grounded and steady, even when life feels heavy. Another powerful part of becoming strong is setting boundaries around your time, your energy, and your mind. Boundaries protect your peace. They protect your focus. They protect your future. Saying no becomes easier because you know your worth. You know what helps you grow and what holds you back. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They help you let in what is good and keep out what is harmful. Strong people use boundaries to create a life that supports their well-being. Strength also grows from learning. When you educate yourself, improve your skills, and expand your thinking, you develop confidence. You become harder to manipulate. You become more independent. You become wiser. Knowledge strengthens your mind. A strong mind creates a strong life. Learning is not just for school, it is for survival, success, and self-respect. When you choose to educate yourself, you invest in your own growth. Becoming the strongest version of yourself also means understanding that peace is more valuable than being right. Many conflicts continue because people fight to win, not to understand. But strong people choose peace. They choose clarity over ego. They choose calmness over chaos. They choose relationships over being correct. They understand that sometimes winning an argument means losing your peace. So they choose wisely. As you grow into your strongest self, you will notice changes inside and outside. You will feel more grounded. You will feel more confident. You will feel more peaceful. Your reactions will soften. Your thoughts will become clearer. Your mood will stabilize. You will have control over your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. You will see that strength is not something you were born with. It is something you build day by day. People around you will also notice the change. They will see your calmness. They will feel your confidence. They will respect your presence. Some may not understand your growth. Some may try to pull you back into your old patterns, but your strength will protect you. Your discipline will guide you. Your clarity will move you forward. Becoming the strongest version of yourself is a lifetime journey. You will continue to grow, learn, and evolve. Some days will feel easy. Some days will feel hard, but every day will bring an opportunity to practice your self-control and strengthen your inner world. You are not trying to be perfect. You are trying to be better, and that is enough. You now understand the power of guiding your mouth, your mind, your mood, and your money. You understand the importance of peace, discipline, healing, and emotional strength. You understand your patterns and how to rise above them. You understand how to protect your energy and lead your own life. You have everything you need inside you. You are stronger than you think. You are wiser than you realize. You are capable of building a life that reflects your values, your strength, and your inner peace. Your journey does not end here. It continues every day you choose growth. Every day you choose calmness. Every day you choose discipline. Every day you choose yourself. You are becoming the strongest version of you, and that strength will guide you through every part of your life.